The newly formed Congress government in Karnataka continues to face that major internal storm. Less than 2 weeks after taking charge, the initial euphoria of victory is rapidly fading, replaced by intense political drama and open rebellion. A fresh round of dissent has broken out in the Karnataka Congress, with senior MLA Yashwant Patil staging a protest right outside Chief Minister Shivakumar's residence. At least his supporters were there, more than 2,000 in number. Along with the supporters, Patil sat on a dharna and openly demanded a cabinet berth. The protest has brought internal unhappiness in the ruling party into full public view and added immediate pressure on the new government. Patil and his supporters have accused the leadership of regional imbalance in the distribution of positions. They say their region has not received its due share in the cabinet and other appointments. And what started as quiet grumbling has now turned into a visible protest, forcing the government to deal with open rebellion from within its own ranks. This is not the only sign of trouble. Several other senior leaders have also expressed unhappiness over the recent cabinet expansion and portfolio allocation. Irrigation Minister Ramalinga Reddy resigned from his position earlier, citing dissatisfaction with the portfolios he was given. Food and Civil Supplies Minister K.H. Muniappa has complained that his seniority was not respected. Former Minister T.B. Jayachandra was left out of the cabinet altogether and is upset over the exclusion. At the same time, Zamir Ahmed Khan and his supporters are pressing hard for a key ministerial possession. The protest and the resignations have collectively put DK Shivakumar in a difficult spot early in his tenure. Known as the party's crisis manager, the troubleshooter, he is now facing a major leadership test as the man in charge himself. And the open display of dissent has dented his image as someone who can keep everyone together. With important civic elections coming right up, the Congress cannot afford to look this divided at this stage. Damage control has clearly become the top priority for the government. Instead of focusing fully on administration, the new schemes, the projects that are pending, the leadership is now busy managing internal unhappiness. How the government handles these demands and whether it can bring the unhappy leaders back on board will decide if this remains a limited protest or grows into a bigger problem for the Congress party in Karnataka. Take a look at the big questions we have for you tonight on the show. Does this protest by Yashwant Patil reflect only personal ambition, or is there genuine regional discontent within the Karnataka Congress? How big a challenge is this for DK Shivakumar's authority as the new leader of the government, and can the Congress afford such open dissent with important local body elections right around the corner? Surabhi Hodigere, spokesperson for the BJP, joins us here on the broadcast, and Mr. Vijay Grover, senior journalist, to help us put this into perspective. Mr. Grover, you see, those questions that we put out, how important is this? Can the Congress afford such open dissent with important local body elections? Is there really dissent when it comes to regional representation in the cabinet? One after the other, we're seeing protests, and it's not a very happy time for DK Shivakumar, needless to say.
Kabir, good evening. And you said it, you name the problem and DK has it today. And that's the kind of scenario that he faces himself, that he's got so many challenges. Now, as far as Yashwant Patil is concerned, certainly he's been an aspirant and was expecting that he would be in the first list. Now, clearly, this is, the pressure tactics that are coming from within. We saw Zamir's supporters protesting a few days ago, and we have this, and then you had the fact that Margaret Alva came out and openly said that there was no open representation. So clearly, everybody knows that there are going to be about 23 or 24 more ministers that need to be taken in. And everybody is taking their claim, and some softly, some through Delhi, and some by these kind of protests. So clearly, each one has his own strategy, and they're trying to work out and mount pressure. Now, DK knows very well that till the MLC elections are over, he doesn't want to commit anything, and that's the reason why we saw AICC secretary also fly in today, and they're meeting the MLAs. So clear, this is one thing that DK and the High Command, because the first time around when 10 MLAs were given the cabinet part, and there was unhappiness of Ramalinga Reddy, we saw the unhappiness of Krishna Gowda. Very clearly, they were unhappy, but DK said that this was a list which was approved by Delhi, and specifically KC Venugopal.
Isn't that the problem here, Mr. Grover? You had earlier suggested that if KC Venugopal and Randeep Surjewala are going to handle all the dissent, what is DK Shivakumar's role here?
that is exactly what is damaging him more, for the fact that he is not what the DK people of Karnataka know. An aggressive, a bold leader, a confident leader who has his way in politics, and had to take shelter of behind these two names. Now, in the future, I'm sure he'll not be able to do that, because then the MLAs lose that kind of respect, and they try to bypass him and go to Delhi. We saw Krishna Veeragoda go, and we saw Dinesh. All these people have been doing it. But this is only one of the problems that DK Shivakumar is facing now, that he needs to strengthen his cabinet, because governance is getting affected.
Yep.
You can't have 10 people having multiple portfolios, and at a time when the state needs better governance, they are not able to deliver it, because the time that they can allocate for each ministry would be very less. So that is only one of the issues that DK is facing at the moment. But clearly, I think so, once the MLC elections are over, we expect that maybe 10 or 12 more people will be inducted. And that is after the 21st, when
Maybe that's the problem here, Mr. Grover. Maybe that's the problem here, because I remember back when the thumping majority was achieved by the Congress party at the Congress headquarters in Karnataka. I remember meeting you there. You were sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
There was a lot of clamor by the Siddaramaiah supporters, by the DK Shivakumar supporters. And, DK Shivakumar came onto the stage, held his hand up high. It was like straight out of a South Indian blockbuster masala movie. And everybody was instantly silenced. And then came on stage Randeep Surjewala. And maybe that's the same playbook that's again playing again and again, and that's damaging DK Shivakumar's credentials. Ms. Hodigere is here with us on the broadcast. You see, give us a sense of how the BJP is looking at this. We've been speaking to a lot of BJP spokespersons, but a lot of BJP leaders from the state of Karnataka. Needless to say, this is going to give you arsenal to take on the Congress dispensation. But all of this that has happened since DK Shivakumar took charge, how is the BJP viewing it?
For over 3 years, the Bharatiya Janata Party has been very clearly stating that the government which came into power with a very resounding mandate has had its priorities always, absolutely wrong. Ever since the Congress came to power, the conversation has centered around who's going to continue to be Chief Minister, who's going to be Chief Minister, who's going to stay on as Chief Minister. This has dominated the public imagination and unfortunately severely impacted governance and administration. This is not just the Bharatiya Janata Party saying it, but administrators on ground, bureaucrats, it's become a common whisper. The Vidhan Saudas often, just before this new chief minister took charge, the Vidhan Saudas very eerie look of gloom was very apparent. This sort of chatter and this sort of conversation and this dominating the public imagination has significantly hurt the state's governance. More so since Mr. DK Shivakumar came to power and openly admitted the many mistakes of Mr. Siddaramaiah, from saying that the Grah Lakshmi and Grah Jyoti schemes need a revisit because the beneficiary list has been corrupted. People who are dead and deceased have received money. From the fact that there are Bidadi farmers protesting actively against Mr. DK Shivakumar's AI city, to the very significant monsoon that has hurt farmers, and flip side, a deficit monsoon that we are going to see. So there are very real issues happening on ground since Mr. DK Shivakumar took power. It has been weeks. We have seen ministers go to Delhi, come back, openly rebel, take the portfolio, take half portfolios. This has been the dominant story. Yeah. While you say that this is ammunition for the opposition, we don't need ammunition like this because it's not good for the state. We don't need ammunition like this because their governance failures are even worse. They're not even governing. When they govern, their governance failures are worse. The state is going into significant high debt, high revenue expenditure, low capital expenditure. These are all right.
No, absolutely. Ms. Hodigere, all pertinent and credible points. Look at this, Mr. Grover. The BJP has put pertinent points on the table, and this certainly is not auguring well for the Congress dispensation. The Karnataka cabinet currently has just 14 ministers. You're saying after the elections where this induction might happen, this expansion might happen, a possible strength of 34. So first and foremost, the decision to keep the ministry small, has this unintentionally created more political instability for DK Shivakumar? And again, coming back to the question of DK struggling with governance or with balancing the caste calculus, the regional calculus, the political equations. And does DKS have the wherewithal to fight all of this in the coming days?
Well, Kabir, the whole concept of keeping the cabinet small in the initial times was keep the others waiting per se, and you not open all your cards at the moment. So that was something which very clearly DKS and the Congress knew, that they would keep some of the hopefuls and some of the senior leaders on their toes and not let them rebel openly for some time at least, till such time that some consensus could be built up, some board corporations could be allocated, and those kind of gimmickry, whatever the government wants to do. But the advantage that the Congress today has, that despite all the troubles in its camp, it knows that the opposition is divided. The BJP today is in no condition that it can put up a strong fight. We see a separate statement from R. Ashok. We see Vijendra on another track. So they know that despite the BJP being weak, they're able to get away with this kind of,
That's a good point.
That point which you see. So maybe if the BJP was stronger, like it used to be during Yediyurappa's time, things would have been very different, and the JDS would have given support. But clearly, DKS has a lot more apart from the ministries, because he knows there are just about 22 months in hand, and maybe 20 people he'll be able to silence.
And that's very little time to prove your worth. Of course, he is a troubleshooter, he is a game changer for the Congress party, but 22 months is no time at all to really show who you are as a chief minister.
Clearly, because 10 months before the term, everybody gets into election mode, and that's going to be a huge challenge. And the biggest problem that I foresee now is the emergence of Siddaramaiah as the alternate power center. We see, I had gone to his house on Monday, and let me tell you, the kind of hopefuls that were queuing up over there was very surprising.
Mr. Grover, DK Shivakumar himself visited Siddaramaiah today. He himself visited Siddaramaiah today. So that only goes on to show. I mean, of course, and we were discussing about this last. We were discussing about this last time as well. That Siddaramaiah is the man who's, of course, it's at his own loss. He is smiling a little bit. There's a little smile on his face as well where all of this is happening. Just 2 weeks into the new government, Karnataka is talking more about a ministerial birth than what the government really wants to achieve. And like the BJP spokesperson said, the priorities are all over the place. The priorities are misplaced. It's talking more about who wants a ministerial birth than who wants what in the government and what the government really wants to achieve here. And whether this is going to be a perception problem in the days to come for DK Shivakumar or a leadership problem, only time will tell, and time is less than 22 months. I think we're going to leave it at that. Ms. Hodigere, I've been told that we completely run out of time here. I'm going to slip into a quick commercial breather here. The dust is far from settled when it comes to this DK Shivakumar conundrum, and only time will tell whether DK Shivakumar is able to, surf over these tossy and turvy waves. We're going to slip into a quick commercial breather here. Many thanks, Mr. Grover. Many thanks, Ms. Hodigere, for joining us here on the broadcast. On the other side, that powerful handshake between Prime Minister Modi and Donald Trump. There's lots on the cards when it comes to the G7, the powerful optics of it all, and of course the shadow of the Hormuz Strait on this mega multilateral power block that's coming right on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
देश विकास भी विरासत भी इस मंत्र को लेकर चल रहा है। बजट में 12 लाख रुपए तक की आय को टैक्स से मुक्त कर दिया गया है। मिडिल क्लास को इससे बहुत बड़ा लाभ होने वाला है। जो नए नए प्रोफेशन में आए, जिनको नए नए जॉब मिले, इनकम टैक्स की ये मुक्ति उनके लिए एक बहुत बड़ा अवसर बन जाएगी।
In the past 12 years, more than 250 million people in the country have moved out of poverty and joined the rapidly growing new middle class. This change is not limited only to economic progress. It also reflects a beautiful picture of social development taking place in the country. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi, the government has taken several concrete steps related to the middle class. In the budget 2025-26, the Modi government has made personal income up to 12.75 lakh tax-free. This is being considered as the biggest tax relief over the middle class.
जो छोटे व्यापारी हैं या 12 लाख तक जिनकी आय है, उनको टैक्स स्लैब में जो छूट मिल रहा है, एक अपॉर्चुनिटी ये है कि जो पहले टैक्स में पैसा चला जाता था वो कहीं ना कहीं एक इन्वेस्टमेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से उनके पास वो फंड रहेगा, तो मध्यम क्लास के लिए बढ़िया कदम है सरकार का।
This is being considered as the biggest tax relief ever for the middle class. Under Prime Minister's leadership, the middle class is being seen as a key pillar of the country's development. The Modi government is continuously working to empower the middle class in every possible way.
Take a look at this. As the world's most powerful economies gather in the French town of Evian for the G7 summit, the backdrop could not be more dramatic. A fragile US-Iran understanding, uncertainty over the future of the Strait of Hormuz, the continuing war in Ukraine, concerns over global growth, artificial intelligence, energy security, and critical mineral supply chains, all are converging on one table. And at that table is going to be sitting India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is attending his 8th consecutive G7 summit